Barksdale of 10 Minutes of Truth, getting ready to go into another session of therapy. Before I go, let you guys know that, yesterday, man, we had a few challenges, quite a few challenges. It made 6 years that I've been home. I've been drug and alcohol free for 15 years. And, we had some real challenges yesterday. But I know, like I was telling my business partner, this is when you level up. So I'm looking to have a very interesting day of therapy. Got my notebook with me today, y'all, so I can take some notes when I go up in here, man. So y'all stay tuned with me. So I just finished up a very exciting session of therapy. I told my therapist, I said, I think that I have narcissistic behaviors or qualities because I'm an only child. She said that doesn't occur in a person like that. And she started to just tell me about what is called personality constructs. The definition for personality constructs is this. She says it's an abstraction that cannot be seen directly, but is inferred from patterns of cognitive, emotional, and behavioral responses in various contexts. So I went on to look these up, and there's five of these traits, right? The first is openness, which is characteristics that include imagination and insight. And what I'll do is I'll give you the clinical definitions of these and then how it relates to me. And I want you to look these up and see how they relate to you as well. So this openness, how I developed that was me being this only child was I had a great imagination and insight because I didn't have brothers and sisters. I had to make up my friends, right? I had to make up these characters to play with. So I had a great imagination in that form and insight. And that's why I still have a great imagination today and insightfulness into things, right? Because of that. So the second one is, and this word is a doozy, constant tenaciousness, which is the trait that includes high levels of thoughtfulness, good impulse control, and good directed behaviors. And goal-directed behaviors. And I had to develop that later on in my life. Pretty much I learned it in prison, how to, formulate goals and have thoughtfulness for people. And that's what we were talking about in this session, how I developed that characteristic later on. The next is extroversion. And this is someone who gets great energy in the company of others. I also have that. I'm a social butterfly. I'm an extrovert. Some people are introverted, meaning that they're standoffish. They're very leery to see what's going on. Not very talkative. Me, I'm very talkative, right? And the fourth is agreeableness. And these are people who exhibit, who will show signs of trust, kindness, and affection. They're more inclined to be helpers, to help people, right? And that is me as well. I try to help people to the point that I conform to their speech, and I try to make them feel very comfortable around me and try to help them with, their particular situation, so on and so forth. And the fifth is neuroticism, which is characteristics of sadness, moodiness, and emotional instability. For that one, when I was young, I developed that when I was young because me being an only child, right? I grew up with my father's in prison. I'm growing up with my grandparents, great grandparents. And I went to live with my mother when I was probably around 10 or 11 years old. And I used to be under my mother because I suffered from, what was called separation anxiety. Didn't know it at the time, but I didn't want to be separated from her again. So I used to stay under her all the time. And, my mother being young, we've talked about this, so do not judge my mother, please. My mother's a great woman. And she just screamed at me one day, "Sean, why don't you just go outside?" And, it shocked me so much and it broke my heart. And I went outside and I just never came back in mentally. Came back in physically, but I stayed out in the street. And that developed, that type of neuroticism early, and it took me down a path, and I had to switch it later on. And so I say these things to you in hopes that it can help us, help me, to be better and learn myself better, because that's why I want you guys to, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave comments, because we want to develop a community. One of the ultimate goals for us in our community is that we don't go to therapy. We don't know therapy. We don't know these terms. We don't know these characteristics, any of these things. So what we would like to start doing is we want them to have to go back and redo their books and have to redo their therapies and to conform to us, because as I told my therapist, I said, you can't diagnose me the same way you diagnose a 45-year-old Caucasian man or, a Chinese individual, right? Because I have different traumas. I have different things that I've been through, and my community is different without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, please subscribe, please like, please leave comments, and let me know how you feel about this video. All right, peace.